So we get asked all the time as loan officers, what's your rate? That singular sentence, that question, for most loan officers who are good at what they do, is like nails on a chalkboard. Here are some things that I want you to think about as a consumer or even as a real estate agent when you reach out to a loan officer and say, what's your rate? There are so many factors that go into rate, between credit scores and location and loan size and everything, all kinds of different factors. Not so much on the VA side, but when you're talking about conventional loans, absolute. Down payment comes into, loan to value, all those things. And what's happening is that there's so much comparison shopping. And what I mean by that is that my buddy that I serve with got 5.75. You're giving me 6.75. Why? Well, there's so many factors that I don't know why he got that rate. And we just went through this scenario last week. The guy was paying $15,000 between points and fees to get 5.75. So there you have it. Do you want to pay $15,000? You're certainly welcome to do that. But in your scenario, it doesn't make sense. So what I see is that most consumers, and I'm one too, we're conditioned to ask, what's the rate? But maybe we should ask better questions. And maybe we should give better information. And as loan officers, you need to ask better questions. You need to ask about their short-term, long-term goals. Are they going to keep it as a rental? What does that look like for them? What's their current cash flow look like? Are they going to get sales concessions in this market? Maybe they don't. Maybe they're in an area that doesn't do it, but you're going to try to get it because you're going to try to ask the seller to pay 15 grand in closing costs and discount points and everything else because you want the lowest rate in town. And our job is to guide people because honestly, I can train my 10-year-old to quote a rate and nothing else. But what separates the call center people from just blurting out the rate, and we all know those large companies that advertise their rates simply to try to get the phone to ring, is they don't even know how that rate's comprised. They don't look at the market. They don't look at the 10-year treasury. They don't look at forecasting. Maybe there's inflation data or PPI or the BLS data that's going to come out that's going to affect the market in a positive way. And as inflation starts to lower, well, rates will go down with it. But there's all kinds of trending and lagging information. And honestly, most people don't know how to explain any of that. They just blurt something out because they lead solely with price. But here's the thing, is that if you just keep getting lower and lower and lower and lower, pretty soon there's going to be nothing left and you're going to be working for free. So you might as well get your 501c3 paperwork in order to start your nonprofit because that's what it's going to end up with. So return on investment is a big topic. And if you can't calculate, and what you should be doing is articulating and calculating that return on investment for that client. If they do buy points down, this is your break-even point. You may refinance. I've seen some break-evens that would have been 5 and 6 years. Well, they're probably going to refinance between now and then because they're going to hold it as a long-term, maybe a 10-year investment. And if they refinance before that time's up, they lose money because we're so hyper-focused on interest rates. But an eighth of a point on $100,000 is 11 bucks. Most of the time, we're talking about $40, 50 bucks, maybe. Now, don't be wrong. There's lenders out there whose rates are just astronomical. But most of that is caused because the loan officer doesn't understand margin. They want to make all the money. They want to make sure that they're whole while their company may be losing money. Well, guess how long that business model is going to last? I have those conversations all the time. And when I tell them, hey, this is how you can cure that problem, this is a solution, they're like, oh, I don't want to do that because I'm not making all the money then. Well, you're not going to be in this business very long. So we got to be practical about this. We're in a different time and a different environment. So you have to be able to guide your clients and give them a custom rate quote or rate quotes based on their goals. And if they don't know their goals, it's your job to coach them through it, make them see different aspects, make them see it as an investment opportunity. Most service members right now are just looking at their affordability. Our job is to make them see it as an investment, not just payment buyers. We're not buying a Chevy that we're financing for 60 months. This is the biggest debt they're ever going to incur. We need to treat it as such. We are debt managers. Our job is to make them see this as a debt situation, okay? So, and this is for my real estate agents. You could do yourself a favor and help your loan officer out by not telling everyone that they're going to beat every price in the world. Now, you got to know the situation too. If it's exorbitant, right? If what you're looking at on a fee sheet or a loan estimate seems high to you, okay, but maybe you say, hey man, I think I can get you a better deal. But if you've got bottom dwellers out there and you don't trust this lender or you don't know this lender and you think they can get the same deal with better service and better outcome and that financial outlook that we're going to give them when we do touch points throughout the year and annual mortgage reviews and all those things. Let's start looking at it that way. Because when you solely lead with price, then it becomes all about price. And we have to try to undo all that. And that's a hard thing to do. And so if we're wanting to try to keep the business with the people that we trust, that we know what the outcome is, my job is to give those veterans and those service members a predictable outcome. They are going to get a good deal and they're going to close on time. They're going to communicated with. Most of these loans were getting done in 21 to 24 days on 30-day contracts. We're beating it up. And if it needs to be closed sooner, we can certainly do that too. But we gotta get solely past this price thing that everybody's so price sensitive. So let's work on our scripting. Let's work on the value proposition. Let's work on those things because we can all set each other up for success. It would be no different than me saying, oh, well, this is just gonna work for 1% and they're charging you 3%. You don't want that conversation. I don't wanna have that because it's none of my business. I look at your value. What are you providing them? Are you the best at what you do? Can you get deals closed? Are you a master negotiator? Do you truly care emotionally about these people? And it's not just about a paycheck. That's what's required of us. So as we go into this environment where we're rising interest rates, and we could be this way for a while, let's work together on getting this messaging correct. So we're setting people up for success and getting past just what's your rate.